Hey, welcome back. It's good to have you here. I was thinking the other day about how we carry our stories with us, in our wallets, on our phones, in the way we speak. Our identities are like fingerprints, unique and impossible to fully erase. But what happens when every single fingerprint is deliberately sanded away? When a story is not just untold, but meticulously, terrifyingly, untellable? That question leads us to a lonely mountainside in Norway, and a woman whose true story died with her. I'm Ibnul J. Farabi, and this is the Unexplained Archive. Picture this, if you will. It's a cold, damp November afternoon in 1970 in Bergen, Norway. A university professor is hiking with his family through the Isdal Valley, a place whose name literally means Ice Valley. It's a rugged, beautiful, and deeply remote landscape. And there, among the rocks and the moss, they find something horrifying: the badly burned body of a woman. She's lying as if placed there, with a bottle of liquor and some empty pill containers neatly arranged nearby. The scene feels staged. But this is only the first layer of a mystery that would deepen into something far colder than the Norwegian winter. The police investigation began, and almost immediately, things fell off. The woman's fingerprints had been sanded off, literally filed away. All the labels had been carefully cut from her clothing. She had no identification, and the burn patterns, they suggested an accelerant had been used. This wasn't an accident or a straightforward suicide. This was an erasure. But she wasn't entirely without a trail. Through meticulous police work, a shadow of her last movements was pieced together. In the months before her death, this well-dressed, multilingual woman had traveled across Europe under at least 8 different aliases. She'd used multiple passports, paid for everything in cash, and constantly changed her appearance. She'd check into hotels, often requesting a room with a balcony, and she'd be seen having hushed conversations with well-dressed men in public places. She carried a strange collection of items: wigs, makeup, glasses, and curiously, heavy amounts of cash. And then, in Bergen, she checked into a hotel under the name Finella Lork. She left her luggage there, went out, and never returned. Her belongings were found to have traces of codeine and a sleeping drug, and her fingerprints had been wiped from every single item. It was as if a ghost had been living a dozen different lives and then decided to vanish completely. So who was she? The natural and most persistent theory is that she was a spy. The Cold War was at its frosty peak. Norway, a NATO country sharing a border with the Soviet Union, was a hotbed of intelligence activity. Her methods, the multiple identities, the cash payments, the clandestine meetings, are straight out of the spycraft manual of the era. The deliberate removal of her fingerprints points to an organization, a state actor, covering its tracks. But which side? Was she a courier for the Soviets, betrayed and eliminated? Or perhaps an asset for Western intelligence, whose cover was blown? There's even a tantalizing detail. A notebook found in her luggage contained cryptic codes, like Lion 25.10Q9H30. Dates, times, places, meeting instructions. This wasn't the diary of a tourist. But here's where the mystery takes a more human, and for me, a more haunting turn. In 2016, Norwegian authorities, along with the BBC, launched a renewed investigation. Using advanced forensic techniques, they reconstructed her face. They analyzed isotopes in her teeth and bones, which act like a geological diary of where a person lived. The science suggested she was likely born in Germany in the 1930s, spent her early childhood near Nuremberg, then lived for significant periods in France, possibly near the French-German border, and in Chile. This is a woman who had lived a life of constant movement, of deep-rooted displacement, long before her final, fatal journey to Norway. And that detail, for me, changes the entire texture of the story. We get so caught up in the spycraft, the codes, the aliases, the intrigue, that we can forget the person. This was a woman who, by middle age, had no one. No one who claimed her. No one who reported her missing. Her entire existence was a secret. When I think of her, I don't just think of a spy in a trench coat. I think of a woman sitting alone in a hotel restaurant, listening to the conversations around her in several languages, but belonging to none of them. I think of the profound loneliness that must be the true cost of such a life. The moss that covered her body in Isdalen feels like a metaphor. Nature slowly reclaiming someone that human society had already completely discarded. The official inquest concluded it was a probable suicide, but with strong elements of uncertainty. The suicide theory hinges on the pills and the staged scene. But why go to such extraordinary lengths to obliterate your identity before you die? To spare your family? Or to protect secrets so big that they have to outlive you? If it was murder, it was a masterclass in leaving no trace. A professional silencing. And in the shadowy world of intelligence, such an end is not just possible, it's almost a cliché. What stays with me, what I keep turning over in my mind, is the absolute totality of the erasure. Coming from Bangladesh, a place where family, community, and legacy are woven into the very fabric of identity, the idea of being so utterly unknown is chilling. We all want to leave a mark, to have our story told. The Isdal Woman fought, or someone fought, to ensure that would never happen. Every label cut away, every fingerprint filed down, is a scream of silence. It's a story that has been forcibly emptied of its main character. So we are left with a silhouette. A well-dressed silhouette moving through European train stations, a woman of intelligence and poise, carrying secrets that might have shifted the balance of the Cold War. Or perhaps carrying nothing more than her own tragic, private sorrow. We will likely never know. The case is now considered dormant, a cold case in the truest sense of the word. Sometimes, the most powerful mysteries are not about finding answers, but about learning to sit with the questions. The Isdal Woman reminds us that in our hyper-documented world, a human life can still disappear into the fog. She is a reminder to look twice at the stranger in the hotel lobby, to wonder about the stories that pass us by, silent and unseen. Her truth is buried in the Norwegian mountains and in the sealed archives of intelligence agencies, leaving us with only the echo of a forgotten name and the haunting image of a moss-covered figure in a valley of ice. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Unexplained Archive. If this story resonated with you, if it left you with questions that linger, please share it with someone. These stories live on when we talk about them. This show is produced by Light Knot Studios. You can find more deep dives into history's greatest mysteries at our website, lightknotstudios.com. I'm Ibnul J. Farabi. Until next time, take care and keep wondering.